Hey guys. All right, good. Microphone's working. Audio seems to be coming through. Perfect. What's up? So, a nice old delayed stream, as it all goes. Let's get talking about last week's content. I have to make sure the YouTube chat's actually functioning, so I'm not seeing that. Oh, okay, that's why. Cool. Oh. As we normally do for these streams, we're going to check it out in more or less order. We're going to look at the events content. Going to take a look at what's in the gacha, Twitter videos, alteration. Let's, oh boy, crazy pilot. Nice. Let's get cracking. I do want to get back to what I was doing previously. I was in the middle of some stuff, and now here we are. Yeah, it's been a weird week. Well, been a weird last week. That's the way to phrase it. Now, let's take a look at the Gundam X for the event. Is the moon out? And go from there. So, the Gundam X head. Offense up gamma. Raise melee and shot attack of your squad by 39%. So that's really, really good on a welfare. Suspiciously so. Typically on welfares, we expect to see a 19 to 29% boost kind of deal. 39 though? That's really good. I don't really have any complaints about this. It's just a nice, solid buff. Statistically, looking at about 4,000 shot attack, which, again, for a welfare, that's really, really good. That's like, it's really harsh. Down it goes. It's about 4,000 shot attack or so. Token amount, like 500 melee attack. Who cares? Beyond that, 5 firepower. High firepower is a nice word tag. And 4 desert. Okay. I'm still not a fan of the 4 tags. Like, yeah, they could be much better than they are, but here we are. Overall, it's a solid piece of machine here. Really good shot attack and a really, really good EX skill. The buff numbers are really good for it. 39%. Wow. All right, torso. With technique attribute, revive with 30% armor one time. Okay. All right. I don't like guts, which is what this is. So playing this game, if you need a res in a fight because you die, you should probably approach the fight differently altogether. Maybe take a step back, get a little stronger before you go back in. I know that you could arguably say you could use this in arena or whatnot, which is true. But again, if your enemy is able to just like instantly give you, or you need a revive, honestly, it's just better. That's what it boils down to. Statistically, okay, 2,300 or so shot attack. That is a healthy amount for a torso. Wow. And offensive, about 900 or so melee. So statistically, for a welfare, this is really, really good. These are high numbers. Not a fan of the trait. I think you can do much better than that. High firepower, still an excellent trait. I'm glad it's the first slot trait, so it's going to be in the entire suit. Makes sense canonically. And then 4 desert, still a wash. But nice. So far, between the head and the torso, we are packing a lot of shot attack. All right, arms. Cooldown time up 10%, buff EX skill effect up 15%. So, straightforward enough. All your cooldowns get an extra 10% tacked onto them, so you'll need to dig up an extra 10% CDR to get rid of that. Mileage may vary. Buff EX skill effect up 15%. This is a flat addition. Meaning, for example, on the headpiece that we looked at previously, where it had 39%, plus 15% pushes us up to 54%, just like that. Honestly, Like, all these CDR related things are purely like build based. If you're running, you know, like 180% CDR for whatever godforsaken reason, this doesn't even matter to you. The Buffy X skill effect up might. All right. If you're running a suit that has 0 CDR because you're not min-maxing yet, honestly, this really won't affect you too much. Think about it in the grand scheme of things, okay? A Cutscene X skill has a, 79, 80 second cooldown. This is going to add 8 seconds or so. It may sound like a lot, but considering you're already waiting almost a minute and a half for it, really? It's not that big of a deal. And also, obviously, impacts skills that have lower CD a lot less, right? If you have a 22-second cooldown CD, right? This is adding 2 seconds change onto it. So, yeah. Really? For a new player, it can be really nice depending on the buffs you're running. And mileage may vary other than that. All right, stats. So we're looking at about 2400 or so shot attack for a pair of arms. Welfare arms, really good. Do keep in mind, at launch, the highest shot attack arm we had was like the 1100 wing or something. Typically, we don't see arms, especially welfare arms, jump up past like 1700 shot attack. So seeing this one smoothly break over 2K, really cool. And melee, 3700 change, which also isn't bad. Typically we see what, 4K, 4.4K for welfare arms. So, melee welfare arms specifically. So this is actually like decent. Cool. High firepower for desert. All right. Still don't like the 4 tag, but high firepower. Nice to see still. Come on. Show me those legs. When attacking with beam, enemy shooting damage plus 25%. Okay. So what this means, when you use any beam attack, whether it's beam physical, beam shot, just a beam skill, or sorry, beam melee, not beam physical, beam melee or beam shot, which of course, those are 2 separate things. Hold on, I just dropped something on the floor here real quick. Gotta love foot carpets. Need them in the winter. Also keeps your food from hitting the floor. Anyways. Beam melee, beam shot. Those are accessible, tons of those skills on the board. And when you do that, enemy shooting damage gets increased by 25%. So you're probably going to want to use this with beam shot. Tons of those. Now, the way that this works into the damage formula, I think everyone's more or less aware of it by now. But in case you're not, long and short, when you have a, EX skill damage plus 25% or whatever, or shooting damage plus 25%, right? That works its way into the damage formula. This is a secondary part of the battle formula that is added differently than the other type of buff, shooting damage plus 25%. With that in mind, this helps you split up how your damage works. So if you have shooting damage plus 35%, shooting damage plus 35%, shooting damage plus 35%. That's a lot. That's gonna do work, 105%. But simultaneously, if you would split one of those up, so you have shooting damage plus 35%, shooting damage plus 35%, and then one of these, enemy shooting damage plus 25%, you're gonna be doing more damage. It's just the way the battle formula works. It's weird. Anyways, yeah. So this could be really useful. And especially for new players, you can get this. You can use your 4-star select tickets to pick any of the hundreds, any of the thousands of parts that are already in the game that can complement this further. And the only thing you have to do is use beam. Nice. All right. High firepower Gundam type. Cool. Gundam type's a nice tertiary tag as well, along with high firepower. Activates a lot of traits. All right, statistically, about 1800 or so shot attack, about 680 or so melee attack. Typically the legs and the backpack have the lowest defensive stats of the entire frame, so seeing this go above, on average, 1000 is what we expect to see on welfares. 1200 up is kind of the post power creep like average now. Once we go above 1400, that's really nice to see on a welfare. If we go above like 1600, that's spectacular pretty much for a welfare, very specifically. So this one going to 1800, spectacular, good to see, nice. Good tags, good trait, nice stats. Backpack, satellite cannon, C- power, S pierce. This, I believe, is the first welfare to have an S pierce or power rating pre-alteration. Golf clap. Impressed. Now, obviously, it having S pierce, going to ignore a lot of the enemy's defense and resistances. Cool. C- power, not going to hit very hard because of that. So it's really going to be a mileage may vary. I would recommend for newer players, this is going to really help you a lot. Make sure you get a lot of EX skill power plus traits to boost this backpack's power. But the S pierce is really nice to see. For a welfare, honestly, really cool. High firepower Gundam type tags. All right. And statistically, 1900 shot attack or so and about 650, 680 melee attack. So much like the legs, really nice statistically. It's got nice tags. The EX skill, very interesting. The S pierce is unique. The C- power obviously makes it but at the end of the day, mostly for new players to begin with, and that's a nice little skill to have. S pierce, that could be really useful for some stuff early on. Okay, let's check out the sword. All right, so Gundam X's large beam sword, 26% chance of attacks penetrating super armor. In case you don't know what super armor is, that's when you attack, your skill lands, the enemy doesn't flinch. That's super armor. This gives you a almost 1 in 4 chance of your attack breaking that and forcing them to stagger. Personally, don't see much use in this, but mileage may vary. All right. Stats wise, okay, cool. So we're at 3800 melee attack, just shy of 4k. That's like top 1% statistically for welfare stuff. Shot defense carries over. We get a token 300 or so shot attack on this sword. Not great, not bad. For a welfare, good. High firepower Gundam type. Okay. So the stats are nice. The trait, I don't like it. Each to their own build. And the tags, workable. All right, beam rifle. Outfighter job, shooting power boosted by 30%. Okay. So, outfighter job, super easy to get. Dime a dozen, not a problem. The shooting power boost, that's pretty cool. The shooting power boost at 30% is a very high mod. We're starting to see it kind of leak out more into standards and stuff since Sokai has started pushing up to 50%. So 30%, very high modifier. This used to be what we saw on Sokai and Limiteds only. Now it's becoming more accessible. And the only requirement is Outfighter job. Now, obviously, Outfighter doesn't so much boost shooting because Outfighter, not a mid-shooter. So it's one of those conflicting parts. We've seen it before. I have no doubt we're going to see it again. But yeah, the shooting power boost is nice, but the job license doesn't really work well with it. There's no symbiosis there. which is a shame. Honestly, the 30% mod is really, really good. But yeah, I don't think it's really worth the trade-off of job license. Yeah. It makes sense, canonically, why it's Outfighter, but... High firepower for desert, workable. 4,000 shot attack, alright. Again, pushes that up into the 1% for welfare weapons. It actually goes further than that, 4,200 after carryover. Alright. That's really good. Alright. So, the trait, pretty much a wash. Statistics, great, good offensive numbers. And workable primary, or I guess workable first tag, high firepower. I don't like the 4 desert tags still. Haven't changed that opinion in the last few minutes. Okay. So, the X has like a crazy amount of stats. Like, that's weird, man. Not in a bad way. That's weird. Alright. Now, as always, I'm not going to look at the suit here. It's a 7-star. It has an alteration. No point. I'll just look at it alterations. But I will look at the pilots. We'll start with Mondo over here. When shot defense is over 5,000, very easy to do. You're going to hit this number accidentally. Vernier recovery rate boosted by 20%. No. I personally don't really think you need to worry about your Verniers in like this capacity. You don't need to. No. There's just so many better traits available. 4 computers, 4 forest, 2 4 tags. It was like this guy was built to just not be liked by me at all. Supporter job license, nah, man. Not with these traits and tags. And then parameters, 1,000 across the board. He's like the most pre-power creep 3-star that I've seen in a while. Man. Okay. That's, wow. Okay. Let's look at the Griffin. When operated on auto, boost funnel uptime by 60%. So, what this is referring to, you're in control of the suit, but it's set to auto. If you're talking about your allies, so when you go into a 3-person map, you have your suit that you're controlling and then your 2 ally suits, and you can switch control between them. It doesn't count if it's not your suit and if it's not on auto. So your AI buddy over there that's doing his own thing, that does not count as auto. Your suit has to be on auto and you have to be in control of it. The funnel uptime, honestly, they still need to fix funnels. Boosting the funnel uptime, sure, that's nice, but it doesn't fix the core issue where the damage is just so spread out and it doesn't do enough. Why not use an EX skill that just hits once really quick and you're done, right? Like, there's upsides and downsides to using funnels. Use them if you like them, but they're just not as good as they could be, honestly. Okay. And let's see here. Long shooter. We're looking at about 2,900 shot attack, kind of around there. And then we're looking at about 2,500 melee. So, very much kind of like a almost hybrid pilot. Good amount of melee attack, good amount of shot attack, has the license to boost the shot attack damage a bunch. The trait, I'm not a big fan of, honestly, but you know, whatever works for you. Word tags, high firepower, really nice. 4 space, no, 4 tag, don't like it. She's okay for a 4-star pilot, not breaking any numbers, not, you know, making any new records, but okay. All right. I guess we'll hit up alterations, but let us check out the Nightingale on Twitter here, because I have that up. When it's done deafening me would be great. Jeez. Still does it too, every time, I swear. All right, properties. We want to open Twitter. Okay. let us take a peek, see at what the Nightingale offers. Okay. Alright, start from the beginning here really quick. This skill, this is not a bindable, right? No, this is a very whiffable. Okay, dodge. That's a magazine. Okay, okay. And then the big backpack EX. Okay, it's quick enough. Alright. Well, I'll just let that play while I look at the Nightingale here. Can we talk about the streaming schedule moving forward? Yeah, we can take a look at it for sure. Because the recent changes they made to the GBM contents kind of had me wonky. Alright, so Nightingale Noggin. Outfighter job, EX skill power boosted by 40%. Okay. Outfighter job, very easy to get your hands on, like I said previously. EX skill power boosted by 40%. That's a solid modifier. When shot defense is over 10,000, very easy to do. Enemy all damage plus 50%. That is terrifying. Enemy all damage plus 50% is literally they just take 50% more damage from everything that you do to them. And because this is an enemy all damage boost instead of all damage boosted by 50%, it adds differently into the battle formula. Lovely. That is nice. Commander heavy armor. Yep. Okay. Torso. When physical resistance is over 7,000, easy enough. Revive with 75% armor one time. With axe category equipped, EX skill cooldown reduced by 23%. That's the second highest modifier that we have for EX skill cooldown. Or the first. I think it's the second. First one was like 25. Anyways, not bad. The second trait's really nice. We have a good amount of axes to pick through to do damage with. The first trait, though, kind of has me, like... I'm going to just call it as a mileage may vary. Honestly, revive with 75% armor one time is really, like... I just don't think it's necessary. I don't think you should be dying, and if you do die, you should probably reassess what you're doing instead of just relying on a skill to carry you through, but whatever works, right? And the axe category is pretty easy to do. Good numbers behind that. Commander heavy armor. Okay. Arms. When melee defense is over 10,000, very easy to do. All enemies EX skill damage plus 40%. So, again, all the EX skill damage that they take boosted by 40%. Solid stuff. When armor is 70% or more, enemy EX skill damage plus 40%. Okay. That is... okay. See, that's a very interesting kind of split here. So from what I'm understanding, when melee defense is over 10,000, all enemies' EX skill damage is increased by 40%. So that's everyone, just a flat across the board. While armor is 70% or more, enemy EX skill damage plus 40%. That refers to the one that you are targeting in specific. What I'm seeing here is, not only do you decrease whoever you're targeting's EX skill damage resistance by 40%, but all of the enemies are also getting a 40% demerit on top of that with over 10k melee defense on you. It's pretty good, actually. Alright, Commander Heavy Armor some more. Alrighty. Alright, EX skills. Now, Hidden Arms. This was the first EX skill that's shown off in the Twitter video. It's not a bindable. It appears you have to get close and personal to use it. As shown, there's no dash or anything. They close the gap manually and use it when they're really up there. It does seem to have a healthy amount of coverage, mostly due to the size of the Nightingale itself. But honestly, the fact that it is a non-bindable melee skill like that, it looks to be very whiffable. I wouldn't personally use it, but you know, if you're really into the Nightingale or you really like the animation, the whatever, go for it. Just be aware of the caveats. You know, you got to be close. They can't dodge it, etc. Right? Okay. Beyond that, lower the enemy melee defense by 14% and beam resist by 29%. On paper, it looks good. Low cooldown, high power, you know, reduces their defense and resistances for further damage, but honestly, I think it's mostly the animation that kills it here for me, at least. Backpack. This is the big old cutscene. Funnel combination. Yep, so you get 48% heal and a shot attack boost of 49%, double S minus power, D pierce. I have nothing to complain about here. This is your kind of stock standard bindable double S cutscene on your new unit. Good numbers. Commander high firepower. Okay. Is this new stuff or catching up on old content? Hey, Jin. So this is catching up on last week's content. Once we're done this, we're going to reassess the streaming schedule really quick, just to kind of get back into a groove, because GBM's schedule change kind of threw me off, and I'm still trying to get that all sorted back out again. Anyways, Beam Tomahawk. There we go. While high firepower, debuff EX skill effect up 40%, so anything that debuffs the enemy is just getting a flat 40% added onto their numbers. No complaints. When melee attack is over 15,000, that is so easy. That's not even a problem. Enemy EX skill damage plus 40%. So if you are running something that gives debuffs, for example, the arm EX skill, this could be pretty good. Again, the first trait is heavily dependent on you having something with a debuff. The second trait, though, is just fire. Super easy to get your melee attack over that cap. And you get a 40% EX skill damage boost on the enemy for it. That's good stuff. Just got to leverage that first trait. Commander, high firepower. All right. Let's check out our large Mega Beam Rifle. Because, you know, a Mega Beam Rifle ain't enough. It's got to be a like a large Mega Beam Rifle, you know? Got to be XL. When shot attack is over 15k, much like melee attack, super easy to do. Initial EX skill charge boosted by 30%. That's good. Good. When armor is 70% or more, excuse me, that's also really easy to do. Just don't get hit. Enemy EX skill damage plus 50%. Again, good mod, easy to activate. No real complaints on this one. Your initial EX skill charge can be pretty big. So that refers to when you start at the beginning of a match, how long it takes for your skills to get their first cooldowns. All skills have a reduced initial cooldown and then their normal cooldown for after that. So in the scenario you have, for example, if we go to the backpack cutscene, right? Boom, boom. 79 seconds is its normal cooldown. The first time is 20 seconds. 30% initial cooldown reduction. We're losing what? That's like 9 seconds and change, right? So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. Nice traits. Nice tags. No complaints on the weapon either. And lastly, our magazine shield. So that gives us D Pierce, B plus power. That's pretty much what we expect from a magazine EX these days. 11 shots. All right, no complaints there. End of the day, bog standard magazine on the shield. So the Nightingale alteration doesn't do anything terribly amazing, nothing terribly new. It's solid though. That's really all you can ask for. Still waiting for a shield with a good trait like cooldown or EX damage up. Yeah. It's gonna be a long wait though. Okay, and I believe that is it then. That's all the new content, unless I missed something. So let me know if I did, guys, but I'm pretty sure I covered all the stuff that came out with that recent patch. The event suit, Nightingale, and the 2 pilots. And while that's going, we should think about how we're doing the stream. Calendar. Anyways. Ugh. G Gundam Shield has good traits. Does it? Can't remember. Alright, so scheduling wise. When will bring back Hazel? They'll bring back Hazel when they bring it back. That could be any amount of time, honestly. So, streaming schedule. Right now, it's a little bit in the... Did I check Perm Alter? It didn't look like there was anything new in there, though. Like, I recall those suits. I'm pretty sure I've talked about them. Unless the Chaos and the Zagok are new. Chaos, okay. So I'll look at the Zagok and the Chaos, and we'll talk about streaming schedule then. Okay, well, let's start with the head of the Chaos Gundam here. Now, these are alter welfares, so it's to be expected. They're a little more on the welfare side than Sokai Limited side. Okay. Middle shooter job, EX skill damage output boosted by a flat 20. That's a wash. Middle shooter job, enemy EX skill damage plus 30%. That's a healthy second trait. Unfortunately, the first trait's kinda... yeah, not great. Second one's nice, though. Torso. CIWS. Ooh, hold on a sec here. This is the magazine. This isn't the Vulcan. Okay, cool. So B plus Pierce, B power, 11 magazine. So there's a lot of catches with this style of magazine. It depends on how far the bullets travel. It depends on the spread of the bullets. It'll also depend on, all the bullets hitting your target. All sorts of factors are involved with whether or not this kind of skill is good. If you lack something, like if you don't have a good torso EX or trait or something, this will fill the gap. But due to just all the caveats involved with it, I don't know about that one, Chief. It's nice when it's just like a single projectile, or, like the grenade launcher where it fires like 3 in quick succession, or the Strike Noir backpack where it fires 2 at the same time, right? Those ones are nice because, you can more easily hit your target. But with something like this, it just feels like you can miss a good chunk of your shots. They may not reach the distance or whatever, right? So, yeah. It's hard to really know without looking at the animation and figuring it out. On paper, looks good. Arms. When 2 enemies shot down, job gauge is boosted by 40% once. I don't like the job gauge. I don't think it's really well implemented. I think it would be much better and offer better boost for what it is and what you have to invest into it. But you know what? You do you, whatever your build does. While high mobility, job gauge increase boosted by 20%. Don't care about job gauge. To me, this is a complete wash of a part. Legs. Beam Claw, A Pierce, B plus power, and raise your melee attack by 19%. That is a rather low modifier, but considering this is a very short cooldown skill, on paper, looks pretty good. Non-bindable though, so yeah. And also, if you read the description, right, use the saber on your leg in a series of combo attacks, that does kind of... We've seen a lot of those types in the past where it's very easy to whiff. Spacing is difficult to get correctly, all these myriad issues. So on paper looks good, but it really boils down to the animation, a lot like the Torso Magazine EX. It all depends on how it works out. Backpack. The Calidus Kai dual phase beam cannons. So this is, if I remember correctly, literally just beam cannon across the map. Very straightforward. A minus Pierce, not bad. B plus power, okay. And that is a rather lengthy cooldown. Not cutscene, but the second longest type. Yeah. It's just a beam, one and done. No real complaints there. The numbers, letters look good. Alright, the Vajra Beam Saber. When C power is under 500,000, EX skill power boosts by 25%. And when C power is over 500,000, enemy EX skill damage plus 35%. So for new players that don't have a lot of C power yet, this gives you a nice 25% EX skill power boost. For players that are way over the 500,000 mark, you get a nice 35% multiplier to the enemy EX skill damage, working separately from EX skill power boost. Honestly, I think that's pretty neat. Give something for the new players, give something for the stronger older players. Cool. Not amazing, obviously, because you are wasting a whole slot, but as far as welfares go, not bad. High energy beam rifle. Middle shooter job. Easy enough. Excuse me. Special shot crit rate boost. So first of all, crit in this game is pretty much worthless, so don't worry about it. Second of all, special shot. That is only accessible to the job licenses of middle shooter or mid shooter and long shooter. Special shot refers to when you hold down the actual shot attack button, and depending on the weapon you use, a different skill will happen. If you're using a beam rifle, for example, you'll lean back and give them the old wing Gundam beam. If you're using a bazooka, it'll charge up for a couple of seconds, fire a beam, larger explosion, more damage, and so on and so forth. Special shots are different based on the weapon, but only accessible to those two job licenses. With that in mind, that being able to crit, honestly, who cares? It's pretty much worthless, let's be real. And the second trait, when armor is 50% or more, enemy EX skill penetration reduced by 45%. So this is pretty much saying when you have over 50% of your armor, your health, the enemy's EX skills are going to have 45% less pen. That refers to pierce. So if they're running a skill that has S pierce, you're going to do a significant demerit to that. It's going to hit a lot weaker because it's pierce out the window. However, most people are running high power, low pierce EX skills, so they're going to have double S power D pierce. This is going to do effectively nothing because you're taking away from an already almost infinitesimally low number. So, yeah. That is a 100% mileage may vary thing. And lastly, our shield, the cruising mobile shield. This has the Picus magazine, B plus pierce, B power 11 magazine. So this is a close range defense system. Reading the text makes me believe that it's going to be a very short distance burst of bullets to do stuff. Honestly, much like the torso, fully depends on the animation, fully depends on how far the bullets travel, the spread, all sorts of things. End of the day, mileage may vary on this. I can't tell without looking at the animation, but on paper, looks solid. And our Zagok. And what's this? When is the alpha of G Generation Eternal coming? $1 million question. Honestly, keep an eye on their Twitter. Keep an eye out for it. I'm still waiting for more news myself. Don't forget, I didn't even get to play in the closed network test due to some logistical issues. So, yeah. Anyways, let's look at our Zagok here. Torso. Integrated with the head. EX skill 240mm 6-barrel rocket launcher. So this is a D Pierce, B plus power, low cooldown skill. It's a tracking rocket, so you're just firing some homing missiles. Honestly, as a pocket rocket skill, cool beans, no real complaints, good numbers. Amphibious Xeon, kind of wash word tag. Xeon's okay. Amphibious, arms. Iron Nail. A minus pierce D, or A minus power D pierce. Okay. Lowers hit enemies gun plus physical resist by 29%. Now, this is an interesting one because the wording of it makes me think that you do a dash forward and do like an interruptible grab to do something. Hence why it's not bindable. Because you grab and slice through a foe with the claw arm. So it seems like you do, it's a lot like the Shining Finger, where you dash to the enemy and on impact with them, it enters a pseudo cutscene where you can be knocked out of it, right? Like it's interruptible. But the enemy that you're hitting can't do anything about it. On paper, doesn't look bad. A minus power. That's awesome. It has a slight, it's halfway between a, Oh, excuse me. It's halfway between a short and a medium cooldown at 33 base for initial. Yeah, that looks interesting on paper. Legs. Infighter job, EX skill power boosted by 25%. Okay, infighters, dime a dozen, super easy, and you get a good EX skill power boost. When in close combat, debuff EX skill effect up 22%. Like I said, this is a flat number, so for example, the arms that are like the 19% physical resist down or whatever, gets boosted 22% up. That pushes it to what, 41% or whatever? Good stuff. And our backpack. With speed attribute, all enemy cooldown time up 17%. Let's see what it looks. Oh no, that is max. Yeah. So what that is, it's a counter CDR. So the people that are running cooldown, cooldown reduction 20%, 30%, whatever. This just takes 17% away from that stack. Again, like I said previously, it's all relational, all relative. If the enemy EX skill has a, like a 10-second, or I guess, let's be realistic, a 20-second cooldown or something, and you're adding 17% to it, that's like less than 4 seconds if they have 0 CDR on it. All right, with module category equipped, all enemy cooldown time up 23%. Module category refers to the weapon. If I remember right, module is fists. So if you have fists equipped, all enemies cooldown time up a further 23%, totaling. If you are a speed attribute suit with a module category equipped, that is a 40% cooldown time up. That is rather hefty, and that is actually entering very feasible part territory right there. It's neat. Between the two, honestly, I would say the Zagok is nicer just because it offers stuff that we don't see as often. Chaos Gundam is very dependent on its animations between the torso and the shield's magazines. Yeah, like it's not inherently bad as a suit. It's just very, I don't know. It's hard to gauge it without seeing it in action pretty much. So, yeah. All right, so that's all the new content for sure this time, TM. So, for anyone that was here to just watch GBM, this little impressions update thing, thanks for tuning in, hanging out, all that fun stuff. I'll see you in the next video, whatever that is. For everyone that wants to hang out a little bit longer, we're going to be talking about streaming going forward. Yeah, cool beans. So, GBM, obviously you guys are aware, it's changed its upload schedule. Now we're kind of in this weird funky zone where it's not every week or every other week. It's like every 3 weeks now for events. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking at doing my GBM content stream instead of weekly, doing it every 3 weeks to match with the content drops. But that's it, right? It's matching with the content drops. If they decide to give us one of those, last minute emergency mobile suit drops, if I'm available, I'll have an emergency stream out for it. Right? Pretty much as normal. With content, I'll do a stream. With emergency stuff as well, I'll also do a stream. I do like that they're kind of having this spaced out more now, moving into the coming months, mainly because we have more games coming out now. G Eternal's kind of one of the ones I really want to do a bunch of content on, but I can't until it releases. But at least when it releases, I won't be doing week to week this as well as Eternal. And I can only hope that they have the patch days different, so I don't have to do a back-to-back stream. That'll be too much. GBM question, are you getting the error when you try to play multiplayer missions? I've heard a lot of people reporting multiplayer errors. Like, it's insane how many people are getting errors right now. To my understanding, they're aware of the issue, and I'm not sure what's causing it, so... It's been mostly 2 weeks with such and certain months where one of the events will be 3 weeks. Okay. See, but that's what I mean, man, all right? Is like, with that 3 week thing, it threw a wrench into it, and I haven't really been able to catch back up. So, long and short, GBM content, when they have an event drop, I'll be doing a stream for it. When they do a sudden, midweek drop or end of week drop, whatever, I'll be doing a stream then. So this is catching up to last week's suit, so I'll be doing a stream next week for the new event coming out then. That's pretty much it. So it's not really changing too much in terms of scheduling. It's just clarifying that I'm going to be going back to doing every content drop week for GBM. Game is dying, if not already dead. Lots of players quit. Like, at the end of the day, it's everyone's prerogative whether or not they want to continue playing the game. I can understand why after a few years a lot of people are quitting. Games do tend to, especially live service games like this, tend to get kind of stale after a few years. Most games that last this long have a lot of cooperative stuff built into it so that there's replayability in playing with your friends and whatnot. So, yeah. Lots of noobs check the Reddit. Yeah. But a lot of the people that play this game for a long period of time are quitting, right? You can't say they're not, but it's mostly just due to age, right? The game is getting up there in years, right? We've a few anniversaries now. We're getting more options for Gundam games. You got Evolution, you have Battle Alliance, we got Eternal. I wish GBO 2 dropped on Steam. So yeah, there's stuff. Anyways, with that, guys, I'm going to wrap up and head out. I got other stuff I got to do tonight. Yeah, what I've been trying to think of like more regular stream content to do, but it's very difficult. This, like, for example, Evolution, right? I play Evolution with the guys, and the reason I haven't been streaming that is because the language isn't exactly YouTube appropriate, and as much as I want to, you know, kind of strangle them down and force them to be, you know, YouTube friendly, very hard to do, and I don't want to force my friends to, you know, watch their speech and stuff. So understandable there. I hope you guys understand that anyways. I don't want to get demonetized and wrecked on YouTube for it. I'm not going to be streaming on Twitch, especially with the recent stuff they've been doing. Honestly, like, as a platform, I'm probably just going to stick with YouTube unless Twitch really cleans up what they're doing or something new comes along. Yeah. Beyond Evolution, I was thinking of doing some more Battle Alliance content, but kind of difficult to kind of figure out what kind of content to do for that, mainly because the only stuff I'm really interested in with Battle Alliance are the suits I enjoy, right? And I got the Kshatriya. Problem is, if you guys have played Battle Alliance and you've gotten your hands on Kshatriya, it's a particular suit. It's not the best. It's definitely a little on the clunkier side in terms of how suits are in that game. And until something else that I really, really like drops, there probably won't be Battle Alliance content, but they release a suit that I like in Battle Alliance, you can be guaranteed I'm making a stream about it, talking about it, playing and unlocking it, because yeah, OnlyFans. What, you guys really want to buy pictures of my feet that much? My hairy legs? I was contemplating, because me and a friend of mine are doing a Halo campaign playthrough. What I may actually do is stream that, of all things. If you guys are interested in watching me and a buddy of mine play Halo from Halo 1 all the way through Halo 4, we've been doing that. We just finished Reach Off last night, so I may talk to him about streaming Halo and onwards, because that'd be pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out like more regular stream content to do. It's just kind of difficult. So anyways, I'm going to wrap up, guys. I've been rambling long enough. Good fun, good talks. And I will see you all next week for the next content drop for GPM. And potentially earlier as well for live streams of some games if things all work out. Anyways, peace out. See you in the next one. My mouse is dead. That's terrible. I can't click the offline button while my mouse is dead. There it is.